Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Samuel Legger here representing Team JVS. I'm back again for another movie review. The name of this movie is called The Midnight Sky. This is directed, written, and starring George Clooney. George Clooney has directed stuff in the past. One big and notable one was Good Night and Good Luck, Isles of March, and also Suburbicon that had a slew of amazing actors in it, and this one is no different. The star lineup for this one, you got David Oyelowo, you've got Felicity Jones, and you also got Kyle Chandler, as well as, of course, George Clooney himself. George Clooney is a person that he is a very smart man, but he's also very sick. And he's decided to stay stationary where everybody else looks like they are leaving the compound, leaving the area in proximity where he's at. You don't know a lot of the background of it, but that's one of the beauties of this actual film. I'll read a quick synopsis. Actually, no, I don't think that I should, because it would reveal too much. All I can say is that this takes place in 2049. There's a post-apocalyptic situation going on Earth, and then you have a crew that is in a space station that is close to a planet that was discovered, and they're trying to make their way back home. The whole point of George Clooney's character, Augustine, is he wanted to stay behind to make sure everybody was okay on that distant location. Now, there's a character that kind of peeks her head in. It's starring a new up-and-coming. Her name is Caroline Springle. She plays a role of the young lady that happens to be also in the same proximity of George Clooney's character. Now, how she got there and why, that's for the story. You need to watch it yourself. But I'm going to say off the gate, the soundtrack, the score itself, amazing. The sound design, the immersive parts of this, the space side of this, it's amazing. The weird thing is today I've seen News of the World and I've seen this. Both do have like an amazing actor and a young talent. Both effectively different movies. I'm not gonna make that comparison, but it is very interesting and engaging because this is a classic, you know, space station based kind of story, but it also has a different level and layer to it because there are secrets to this, there are layers to this, there are flashbacks that are pivotal to the character of Augustine, played by George Clooney. But in the way that George Clooney directed this, this is a professional looking film. The VFX and the CG are amazing. Like, it is definitely on the lines of like Gravity in terms of a lot of the shots and the visual cues, the intensity levels of things that are going on while on space station. Honestly, if this was like a rated R film, I mean, I kind of wouldn't, I wouldn't know one way or another, because there's a couple scenes in this that are very hard to watch, very gory, but they do try to alleviate some things being too far left or too far to right. The other thing that I was going to say, in addition to the VFX, in addition to the soundtrack, is the positioning of different cinematography moments. Like, cinematography in this is not like wasted. There are so many effective scenes with George Clooney alone that are very key to specific parts of all this and where things are going with this, as well as his connection with this young lady and why he's pushing so hard to try to make sure he survives, she survives. Is very specific certain shots that he chose and cataloged for this film that are commendable, in my personal opinion. Acting. George Clooney is a beast in this. I haven't seen George Clooney act in anything in a long time, and he just crushes it in this role as Augustine. I think that the ones that kind of undercut some of it was David Oyelowo. David Oyelowo is an amazing actor, and they didn't really give him much emotional resonant moments, as well as there's a couple moments that I was really triggered by. Like there was one specific moment where there's a conversation that happens over the comms and time is just wasted for no good reason, even though I know the situation is a dire situation. There's another situation where something's going on with the space station and somebody's like, oh, we need to go outside the space station, and like I was like, that doesn't make sense for this specific character, and it just was a dumb decision. I didn't know the reason why it was done other than to provoke or invoke an emotional reaction to a situation that was gonna come to, you know, push it forward. I think Felicity Jones does play a decent job with it, but honestly, the person that shines the best in this is George Clooney. I think that Kyle Chandler does have a really good emotional resonance scene, as well as his character is very multidimensional as well, based on the circumstances that he's in. I think that the young lady, Caroline Sprinkle, she does an amazing job. I think that there's some moments with her that I was like, this is some good acting. Not just that, she isn't a talker. She doesn't really communicate with George Clooney's character, but she very much so acts like a kid. So I think that the highlight in acting terms of this one is definitely George Clooney all day with this one. As far as the story is concerned, there's a twist that I was thrown by. I was really thrown by, but I appreciated it because there was an actual payoff to it. There was a reason. There was a connection to it. Again, going back to the VFX, like some of the shots that they have in space, I was in awe of. There's only one shot that kind of was like, it's kind of like a lighting issue. Takes place, I don't want to say, with Felicity Jones' character early on. I was like, if the lighting was just a little bit better, yo, that would have been a perfect shot. In terms of my review number for this one, I would give this a 9 or 8.5 out of 10. I don't have too many things issued with this, other than certain decisions that kind of invoke to try to push things to be all over the place or try to push peril or danger. This is intense. This is emotional. It was resonant. I would have liked to connect it a little bit more deeply with a lot of the flashback moments of the character Augustine, but I kind of didn't. I'm not sure if that's because of the caliber of acting or if that's just the way it was actually written. But again, like, from what George Clooney was able to do with this, it's definitely worth your watch. Definitely worth your time. It is heartfelt. It is emotional and hard to watch sometimes. And it's not like a happy-go-lucky story either. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. I'll talk to you guys later on. Make sure you go and check out The Midnight Sky. It is going to reach the theaters on the 10th, but it will be on Netflix on December the 23rd. So definitely go there and check it out if you don't have it available in a Safe Zone area in your local theater location or drive-thru. Take care. Keep it locked. JVS. We ain't gonna stop. God bless you guys. Peace.